My name is Michael Yarde. I'm a teacher of IT and computer science here at Whitley High School, but I am also one of the assistant heads of the current Year 9, who was the cohort that took part in this TICE programme. So Whitley has been working with TICE for a good few years now, and this is my first year working with TICE. It's something that we do every year with our Year 9 cohort, and sort of each year group rotates through its pastoral team. So whilst, like I say, it's my first experience with it as a school, we've been doing it for a good number of years, particularly pre-pandemic as well. Absolutely mind-blowing. Like, the students are obviously the best part of TICE. I've seen work produced by students that I never even thought possible of anybody, never mind Year 9 students. The way they apply themselves, the maturity in which they take these projects forward, the independence they've shown, the resilience they've shown throughout them has just been absolutely superb. I genuinely am quite speechless at just how brilliant the students have been throughout this whole process. Yeah, massively, particularly sort of those soft skills around the wider school environment of this was an entirely independent project. We had very little input from a school perspective, and that's something that I think really helped the students get the most out of it, because it was on them to organise their time, meet their deadlines, work with their mentor directly. I didn't want to act as a middleman in that project, and I think that's why the students got so much out of it. The conversations we've had with students after the fact, talking about they've now got ideas about what they want to do next, of whereas previously it was, I just want to work in art. They can now be a lot more sort of bespoke with that and focused in and say something along the lines of, I want to be a graphic designer, or I want to be a stop motion animator. So it's really helped sort of focus that career drive and pathway that they probably wouldn't have had otherwise if it wasn't for TICE. So I think framing it as a professional brief is the best way to do this project. They were essentially working for a client for all intents and purposes, but then also doing the external workshops. We had Mark and Russell for our Design in Motion project, and these are people that do this day in, day out for their professional career, and the students could relate to that. It's all good and well me as a teacher saying you could do this, whereas Mark and Russell turned around and said, I do this, and that real tangibility to industry, I think, gives the credibility to the programme that helps the students buy into it so well. And then also the clients that Mark and Russell have worked with in their time is just sort of wow buzzwords that our students really relate to and then can really get excited about as well. So as an IT and computer science teacher, it doesn't really link directly to my curriculum. We do some graphic design in IT, but from my biggest sort of link I've got with the students from it afterwards is from the pastoral perspective. I've seen things from these students in an environment that I never expected possible. It's not something I see as their class teacher in IT. You know, I can occasionally go and see their artwork, but seeing it as a bespoke independent project and something that they're proud to achieve, and then that we get a showcase on our school Twitter and just shout about how loud and how brilliant our students have been. It's an experience I don't think I would have had if we hadn't taken part in TICE, so for that reason alone I would suggest you take part as well. Just do it. I was quite apprehensive about starting it first. It was sort of one of my big projects that I've ever done in a school before, but Jen and the rest of the organisation made the whole process so easy. It was almost a case of just be told where to turn up and then off you go. There's very, very little organisation from your side. You can be as involved or sort of hands-off as your students are capable of being. We were really quite hands-off because our students were so driven, so inspired and so passionate about them projects. There was very little extra in terms of workload from my side. It was more of a management overview, but there was the potential to get more involved if you want to. And the out-of-school workshops were absolutely phenomenal. I think I enjoyed those as much as the students did, and it's just really sort of inspiring to see what's out there now. You know, it's very easy to see when you get older and sort of lose touch with everything outside of education, and just seeing the students and their excitement of where they can get involved, and hopefully, you know, they'll be not that far down the line, some of our students could be TICE mentors themselves.